All right, we're going to go ahead and admit everybody.
Is Jen running this one?
Yes.
Okay.
But can you start it? Are you good? Julie's going to start it, and then we'll hand it over to you, Jen.
Perfect.
And we'll keep adding as they come in.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julie from the Greater Wildwood Chamber of Commerce. I'm the membership manager, and we want to thank you all for signing on. This is our second AI class with Sudden Impact, AI as your work assistant. We want to remind you to put yourselves on mute for the duration. If you could do that, we appreciate it. And then we're going to pass it over to Jennifer Esposito. She's from Sudden Impact Agency. Jen.
Good morning, everybody. How is everyone today?
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So thank you all for coming. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to be able to actually put a little bit of our lessons from last week into this week and keep building on it throughout the rest of the session. But the fun part is that I'll really be focused on your business. So obviously, you know, you guys have an established business, but I will do a dummy one as a demo for this, and then you can use your businesses. If you noticed in the Zoom chat, if you all want to go there, it's actually a Google Drive link, and that'll be pretty much what we're doing today. So you have access to the AIs that we'll be using, and also you can copy and paste the prompts. So I just want to make sure, you know, everyone's familiar with copy and pasting, because we will be doing that throughout the rest. But what we'll do is I have like a 5-minute intro video. Of course, you see my lovely photograph. That is all generated by AI. Obviously, like I said last week, it's a thinner, younger version of myself. So we'll jump into this, and then we'll just get hands-on. If anyone, I'll try to go nice and slow. So if anyone has any questions or anything at all, we're here to help. You don't have to, and no question is too silly or too easy. So I'll go ahead. Everyone can see my screen here, right? Okay, let's just jump right into this, and Hi, everyone. Welcome. Today, we're going to explore something practical, how AI can act as a simple work assistant in your business. And instead of just talking about it, we're actually going to build something together. No technical background needed. Our goal today is simple. We're not just learning about AI, we're using it. We're going to take a blank idea and turn it into something real, step by step. By the end of the session, we'll have created a business concept from scratch, a name, a clear list of services, a basic roadmap, a logo, and even a launch message. And you'll be able to apply the same process to your own business. Why does this matter? Because AI works best as a helper. Think of it like a knowledgeable assistant who's always available. It helps you think, it helps you create, and it helps you plan faster than starting from zero. We'll be using 4 simple free tools today. First, ChatGPT. This is our brainstorming and writing assistant. It helps us generate ideas, organize thoughts, and draft content quickly. Next, Perplexity. This is our research assistant. It helps us look up information, validate ideas, and see sources, so we're not just guessing. Then Canva. This is our design tool. We'll use it to create a simple logo and visual content without needing a graphic designer. And finally, Microsoft Copilot. This helps organize information and structure plans clearly inside tools many of you already use. Nothing complicated, just practical tools designed to support your thinking. And don't worry, all of these website links will be dropped into the Zoom chat so you can access them easily. Across these core activities, AI helps us move from idea to action faster. Instead of staring at a blank page, we get a structured starting point. And from there, we refine, because you are still in control. As we discussed in our last session, AI is not here to replace you. It doesn't replace your judgment, your relationships, or your reputation. It doesn't know your customers the way you do. You stay in control. AI is simply a tool, a powerful one, but every decision still runs through you. The goal isn't to hand your business to a machine, it's to work smarter with one. Think of AI like a calculator, helpful for the task, useless without the person behind it. Here's how today will work. This presentation is giving you the context and expectations, so when we transition live, you'll know exactly what we're doing and why. Once this portion concludes, we'll move into the hands-on portion of the session. That's where we build, step by step. I'll demonstrate using a fictional business, so the process is clear and easy to follow. At the same time, you'll be entering your own business details and applying the same steps in real time. There's nothing to memorize, no complicated setup, just a clear process you can repeat on your own. We set the stage, then we build together. This is hands-on, but no technical experience is needed. Just bring your ideas and your curiosity. You'll be guided clearly through each step. Ask questions anytime. This is a workshop, not a lecture. And by the end, you'll walk away with something real, a business concept you can actually build on. All right, this is where it gets fun. Now we move from learning to building. Everything up to this point was preparation. This is where we create. The tools are ready, you're ready, and we're going to build something real right now. Let's do it. Before we wrap up, here's what to do next. If you don't already have them, create your free accounts for the tools we use today. I'll place all the links and the downloadable guide in the Zoom chat. This week, run one prompt for your business, just one. Test it, refine it, see what happens. And if today was helpful, I would truly appreciate a short testimonial or a few words of feedback. It helps us strengthen and grow this program. I'm excited for our next session, where we shift from building the idea to applying AI inside the business. Okay, great. So that's what we'll be doing today. And was everyone able to get to the Zoom link and open the Google Doc?
Yeah, we were. So Jen, this is Tracy with the chamber. So I just want to tell everybody, we are recording this session. So if you prefer, I learn better by following Jen and what she's doing and then applying it after the meeting. If you would like, Lisa will email everyone the video recording as it is. So if you want to follow along with Jen right now without actually doing it, which again is the way I learn, please feel free to do that and we will get the recording out to you. Don't stress over this. It's meant to be a tool to help you, not a stress trigger on you. So whatever you want to do, everybody in attendance is going to get this recording and we'll put it up. We put it on our YouTube page, right? We'll put it up on our YouTube page as well for the members that could not make it today, so that they can look at it. But again, totally up to you if you want to follow along and do it and use your business as the example. That would be great. That's what we're all here for. I'm going to sit back and watch you, Jen. I'm going to watch you do it.
Okay, excellent. So just let me
I have another question.
Sure.
Are you using these different tools because they're better and are doing certain things versus other tools, or are you just trying us to expose to every one of them?
I was trying to give you a little insight to each one of them because each of them can kind of create something a little different. Like, for example, later on in the session, we'll be using Canva, which is really great, even though I'm like non-artistic at all. It gives you like great templates to start. So like if you're looking to, redo your logo or to do like a little social media ad or even video, and with the free tools, it allows you to create, to be the creator and have a little fun with it, to use something that you can,
Right.
use.
Well, I've been using Copilot, the Microsoft Copilot, only because it comes as part of my plan.
Sure.
And, I've tried to do I asked it to go in and redesign my website. And it actually did it.
Yeah.
I asked it to create a logo and it did it. I asked it to analyze an Excel spreadsheet and it did it. So I was wondering if there's some, and I've played with ChatGPT also, and the Google one, which I think it's called Gemini
Gemini.
or something.
Yep.
So, and they all pretty much give you the same answers. I was wondering if there's some that are at better certain tests than others.
Yes. Yeah. So for example, um, now I'm the opposite. I use ChatGPT a lot. I have a paid subscription with that, but I have also found, and I introduced Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT because they're almost synonymous. The only difference between the other two tools is they're more, so for example, Perplexity is more like a research assistant. Like, let's remember when we used to have to do book reports back in the day. We
Yeah.
had to, sort,
I
quote our
remember having to
sources.
go to the library.
Yeah, I remember microfiche still. So I know it's come a long way. But yeah, so Perplexity gives you the research and actually documents sources where the other AI agents, platforms do not. So
Okay.
ChatGPT and Copilot and Gemini, I say, are used one and the same. So, and I can even keep it easy, even though I have them on the sheet to use. If you're comfortable with Copilot, the same prompts will work with ChatGPT. But we
Right.
are just going to look at Perplexity as a research assistant for your marketplace and your business. And so it can kind of
Okay.
give you, try to think outside the box. So,
All right. Yeah.
and for easiness sake, you can just use ChatGPT or your Copilot or your Gemini and then just build from that. Another thing is you can actually, if you have a bunch of different, let's say, questions or different areas that you might just want something like, come up with a action plan for my shopping this week or whatever, something totally not relevant to your business. You
Yeah.
can then make it like a project. So you can just go re-access that chat again. It would already pick up back on your shopping list, let's say.
Right. Right.
Okay,
I've noticed
or
that.
your business. So you can kind of separate your ideas and kind of put everything in its compartment, which is really cool as
Yeah.
well. So
I had some bids going out for some work that we needed done at the hotel,
good.
and I asked it to write me a note for somebody who didn't get the bid because the price was too high, and it
Right.
did it.
Yeah, and
It's
and
amazing.
it is. It is. So I'm glad you're dipping your toes in. So that's awesome. That's exactly what we're going to keep doing here. So,
Well, I
that's
appreciate the exposure that you gave us because it was a mystery to me up until now. I mean, I never even played with it. I played with ChatGPT a little bit, but I never
yeah.
realized that you can do so much with it. So for that, I thank you.
Awesome. Well, we're going to have some fun with this. So,
All
okay.
right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to act as though I don't have a business at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up my chat GPT. Like I said, you can also use Gemini or you can also use Copilot. It's kind of one and the same. Obviously, Gemini works better with inside Google Docs and things like that, whereas Copilot works better if you're using a Microsoft Office product, such as spreadsheets and PowerPoint and things like that. So each kind of are designed for their own platforms. But ChatGPT is a great one kind of in the middle. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come up with ideas and figure out the best way for me to start a business and come up with an idea. So I'm going to prompt into my chat GPT. I'm going to ask it to describe my business clearly. Okay. So I'm going to put in, let's see. So I already had researched some names just in case you guys wanted to go in and just use your business information. And I searched what are some great year-round businesses to do at the shore that I could launch. And one of them that came up was property and pet care. So that's what I chose just to do as a demo business. So I actually brainstormed some names as well, and I came up with Property and Paul Pet Care. So I'm just going to put that right in here. My business name is Property and Pet Care. And we provide, so I had it define some services for me. We provide house sitting for long-term business people.
Yeah, real quick, make sure you put in pet care where you put in your business name.
My business name is Property and Pet Care. Oh, got it. See. Thank you. And our typical customers, so the type of customer, okay, let's say it would be business people who travel and have second homes. And we are located in Wildwood, New Jersey. So now I'm just want to try to get a good explanation. This could be like an intro for my website. This could be just my intro for LinkedIn. There's so many things that you need to write certain things for. And it just makes it so much easier once you start working within one large language model. They get to know who you are and your sense of style. So you don't have to keep repeating yourself over and over and over again. Once again, you just go back to that existing chat that you were working on, and it's right. It picks right up where it left off. So it gave me a great description here. Property and Pet Care is a professional house and pet sitting service based in Wildwood, and a great description. So it even includes our typical clients, your business professional and seasonal homeowners who may be gone for weeks or months at a time. So really, it simply just gives me a great little overview. So now I have that I can work with. I can post that anywhere. Could post it in my Google profile, your GHB or whatever it is, your Google business, your GB profile, whatever that is. Sorry about that. And then I also have additional prompts for you to try that you could use. You could rewrite the business description to sound more customer friendly. You could simplify it by make it so that a 10-year-old could understand it, which I like that one too. But you can re-prompt and guide whatever it is that you need to do right from there. So it's waiting for you to tell it what to do next. So, which is pretty cool. So some other additional prompts that you might be able to use would be to rewrite this description for a social media profile or your LinkedIn, just like I said, because you only have a certain amount of words. So if you go in, you paste it in there and it's too long, you can just come right back to your chat GPT and say, shorten this to 180 words only. So anything you need, it just makes that time, puts more time back in your day. So, okay, so now that we have a little description of our business itself, the next prompt I'm going to use, I'm going to say, based on this description, list my 5 to 7 core services in a clear, customer-friendly way. So I'm just going to simply copy and paste that into here. Okay, and I'm just going to hit enter. Boom. Now, I'm not a great writer, so this is awesome for me to kind of get some ideas right away. So, and they're not all going to work. They might not be all your services, but you definitely want to read through them and make sure that it fits what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, so this makes sense. I would offer in-home house sitting, pet care and companionship. That sounds great. Obviously, we would be, making sure that the house is secure and monitor it and, take the mail in and all that good stuff. So, briefly looking at this, that's great. That's exactly what we need. So can everyone see my screen, right? Everyone sees my chat GPT? We're good there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Want to make sure. No problem.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what do you guys think of it so far? Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So,
Amazing.
So some of the other prompts I could use here, I could say, rewrite my services to highlight my customer outcomes. I could turn these services into simple bullet points for a website. I could suggest premium service options that I could offer, upsells. And now I want to really just kind of zone in on who my ideal customer is. Okay. So once again, you can use this as in any of the large language models. They'll all work the same on this one. But let's figure out who my ideal customer is, because once we figure that out, then it's easier to market to them. So we're going to prompt, the next thing is to say, describe the ideal customer for my business and list their top 3 pain points.
So obviously knowing their pain points helps, because not only does it help you shape your content and figure out the key areas of where they're, really find your customer, you can kind of address it ahead of time and take all the guesswork out of it. So, okay, let's see what comes up. Generate, move this. Okay, exactly. So my ideal customer for property and pet care, a successful professional or business owner who travels and frequently owns a second home or vacation property in Wildwood. So they value privacy, kind of gives you what type of person would be using my services. And they have invested significantly in their home and pets and want someone dependable to treat their property with care. Makes sense? Okay, so by highlighting the top 3 pain points, guess what I'm going to use that for? I'm going to use that towards my social media marketing. So now I can address these things that basically the majority of homeowners or pet people that have pets and travel a lot, this is what they worry about. They worry about property security while they're away. Well, we can solve that. So we could just address that in our marketing. Concern for pets being left behind. So obviously people don't like, sometimes to put them in kennels and things like that. They get to be in their own home, have their own schedules, all that good stuff. So that addresses that. And then managing a home from a distance, and bang, get your mail, your maintenance. If the smoke detector battery is going off, all of these things would be taken care of. So there we go. We're on our way. So now that I have, our core services, our ideal customers, and then some other prompts in here that you could typically use if that one wasn't, a good enough prompt for you, you describe the typical situation that causes someone to look for my service, or what problems are my customers trying to solve, and what makes a customer choose my business over another. So kind of gives you some insight of what your competitors are doing and how you can position yourself in the market. And next we have perplexity. Now this is where it gets fun. So perplexity, like I had mentioned before, it's like doing a book report with cited sources, but it'll pull information about the region, your competitors. It really does a great job just as a writing assistant and organizing things. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take basically all of my stuff that I had here. I even put my prompts in. It's fine. They'll get it. Let's see. Just copy all this stuff. Okay. So now we have our great little business idea. Okay. And we're going to go over to perplexity. Let's see. 1 second. So here we go. We're just going to paste this in. Okay. I'm going to go to the top, just put it up over there. I always don't like to hit enter because there's times where I have hit enter and it sends it. So what I do is I just, even if it's all one thought, it'll separate it out. But you paste your information first, and then you can do your prompt before or after it. It's fine. But what we're going to ask Perplexity to do is do some research, like what marketing methods would work best for this type of business, and what types of customers typically search for businesses like mine in coastal New Jersey. Okay. I can also ask what trends are affecting businesses of mine right now. So just gives you some more in-depth knowledge. And so here we are. I'm just going to copy and paste that into there. And then let's see what Perplexity comes up with, and I'll show you the work that it cites as well. So, am I going too fast? Is this okay? You guys following along okay?
Good.
Any questions? Okay.
All good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So, here we are. And as you can see, after each idea that it had come up with, it then quotes it. So this gives us a lot more in-depth information here. So effective marketing for house and pet sitting services like yours in coastal Jersey focuses on digital presence and trust building tactics. So obviously my customers typically search via platforms like Rover, which is a great idea, or Google for reliable in-home care targeting seasonal homeowners. And it breaks down my marketing methods. So, GBP, that's what it's called. Google Business Profile. So obviously everyone has a Google site, hopefully, for your business, and that you really make sure that all that information is accurate and pulling the right information. And you should have access to that through the back end of your Google admin, but that's another whole story. But you want to make sure that your Google Business Profile is up to date, your hours are correct, and everything is good to go there. List on platforms like rover.com, where Wildwood users actively book pet sitters. Now, that's great. I would have never known that. Leverage social media, Facebook, Instagram, for local groups, pet tips, and testimonials. Awesome. That's a lot of people, underutilize Facebook groups and how many people they can really reach when you really look at, how many, some of these groups have 10, 20,000 people in them. And that's a great little market that you can do for free. So what's awesome here is that you'll be able to then take some of this content that you're making and creating and then going in and then posting them into these groups. So that's not spending a dime. It just takes a little bit of your time and planning, but at least you're not designing everything right from scratch. So, all right. So network with vets, groomers, real estate agents for referrals. That's a great idea. So, and it tells you each source to quote it. Encourage reviews and referrals with loyalty discounts. Great idea. And then use simple website with booking, pricing, and service area details. Okay. So this is Perplexity. So if you want to go real deep into, what are some marketing trends that the state of New Jersey is doing, or other towns or boardwalk area, whatever the case may be, this might just be another tool in your arsenal to dig a little deeper. Okay. And then a lot of the large language models will also give you more ideas. So you can literally find yourself in a rabbit hole because it'll just keep doing, oh, do you want me to create a 1-page PDF, or would you like me to, and then you just start going deeper and deeper and deeper. And to me, it's fun. It takes a little bit of the stress out and gives me ideas that maybe I wouldn't have thought about. Okay, so that is Perplexity. Moving on. Now I will just show you, as the gentleman mentioned before, Microsoft Copilot, which is they all look kind of the same. So if you notice here, it looks just like ChatGPT. And I usually recommend, obviously you don't put any sensitive information in there, but you can literally use them interchangeably. But I usually stick with one because this way it gets to know me. So if everyone's okay with just me introducing Microsoft as, Copilot as it being there, I'm still going to use ChatGPT and Canva for the next part because all of my information is already there. But if I wanted to go into this LLM, I would just copy and paste my ChatGPT message into here and then ask it what I need to do. But since I already have it in ChatGPT, we'll just keep that part of it moving. That's it.
Jen, quick question for you. So
Yes.
I was at an AI conference, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, we spoke about it. They were talking about security of general chat GBT versus the security of like the Copilot or something like that. With chat GBT being, you're putting your information out to the world. So
They're all open source though. I mean, in reality,
Okay.
yes, there are different guardrails that I wouldn't recommend putting any sensitive data into, but all of them are open source. And if any hacker really wants to get the information, I say just keep it something that obviously is basic stuff that is not going to be your trade secrets. the launch codes to a missile or anything like that. Knock on wood.
Yeah. So very, very clearly, we're not putting bank statement
No
numbers,
bank
or
statements,
account
no.
numbers, credit card
No
numbers,
taxes, nothing. I mean, you
nothing
can
like that on
analyze data, like sales data is iffy. I don't know if you would do that or not do that. It depends on if you don't care, but that's nothing you could do it as, because it's nice just to have things summarized, but I definitely would not put any, personal data, anything like that on any of them, regardless of whatever security they claim to have. Because in reality is everything is kind of, when you have an open source, it's not closed. Like the only one that I know that's not really open source is like Llama, for example, because that runs on a terminal on your computer. It's and what Meta did and what Facebook did is they actually pre-chained it on all of their data that they had ahead of time, and it just has updates. It's not open source.
Right.
That makes
And
sense.
so even if you're paying a subscription, do not put your information on there. That's a fair statement, right, Jen?
Absolutely, 100%. Don, did you have something to add? I'm sorry, I thought you were trying to chime in.
Yeah, I wanted to chime in real quick.
Hi, Don.
Hi, how is everyone?
Excellent. Thank you.
I also wanted to say that these systems, Microsoft Copilot, it actually runs for Microsoft itself. So in that regard, it kind of makes it its own. That's where the security comes from. So everything that's run through Microsoft, the security is backed by Microsoft. Same thing with Google Gemini, everything that's backed by Google, it's the same thing as far as their security. Now, what's public that you can do for free is open source. That's the problem with the United States government has right now with Anthropic. Anthropic actually is what's behind Claude. So Claude is another large language model that uses these same types of formats, but that's what's going on with Anthropic and the United States government right now, because Anthropic is based on safety. And what it doesn't want to do is have the U.S. government or any government create autonomous weapons and things of that nature that can now act on its own without human intervention. So there's a real big thing going on where Anthropic and Claude could lose a $200 million contract right now based on the fact that they won't allow their technology, even though it's open source, to be used for autonomous weapons and things of that nature. So all of these things become very, very important when you're putting in information. So you do not want to put any information whatsoever into these large language models, because the entire world can use them in their current state. But there are versions of it, paid versions, like you just mentioned, that it gets a little bit more secure, because now you're paying for it. But because the systems are constantly learning, which is called ML, it's machine learning, and it's learning everything that goes in it. Millions and millions of people providing this information to these large language models. These things are learning and learning and learning. So it's not just forgetting the information because you put it in there and then deleted it. It's still there, but it's just in the background. So these systems are only secure up to a certain point until you have very secure systems such as Llama 3, like Jen was just mentioning, and things of that nature. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there to just give you an idea of what's going on here with these systems.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for answering, both of you. I appreciate it. I just don't want anybody putting something in thinking they're secure. So, all right. Thank you. You can mute us again.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good, valid point. So, so we basically use Perplexity for that deep dive and the market research. So, so now that basically that we have the business clarified, we defined the services, we have identified the customer, we've done a little research. The real next step is really just organizing everything into a simple business overview. And it's really not complicated. It's just something so you can really think clear. You can even have a business plan done, ready to go. I mean, if you're going for funding or anything like that, I need a updated business plan, or I need to get something, on paper. So that's what these tools are really great for, is really helping organizing and putting things into a simple business overview. Okay, so let me just go. I think I closed my ChatGPT tab. Hold on one second. Oh, I have it here. So when you go into ChatGPT, here is where you have the sidebar where it has all your research. So That's what's cool about that. So I'm just going to go to my last chat. AI as a work assistant. And close that. So now it has where we were. Okay. And actually, I'm going to start a new chat. Sorry about that. Okay. And you can even, the difference between ChatGPT and Perplexity, like I said, you could still ask all these questions at ChatGPT as well. It just won't give you the sources. So, you can typically use one for the majority of it. Some are better at creating logos, some are better with images, but they all kind of do the same thing. So now that we have that, I'm sorry, we're also going to open up Canva and try to come up with a logo and an ad. So the next part is the visual fun. So now that we have everything defined, we are going to open up Canva here. I don't know. Has anyone used Canva? Has anyone heard of Canva before?
Nope.
No? Okay. Well, they have a ton of free resources. A lot of them are paid, as you can see here, but for this purpose, we're just going to be using the free versions, and I'll tell you how to spot the difference of the free and the premium versions. So let's say I need to come up with a logo. Okay. So I said I want a logo. Let's search for a logo. Now I can start it from scratch, or I could just, browse through. Obviously, these are all editable. Okay. And you can move things around and make it easy. But for right now, I'm just going to use Canva AI and say, create a logo for property and Paul's pet care. This is my dummy business. Although it sounds great, I might actually do this. This would be fun. Love animals. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. Now, you can also use Canva to create presentations like slideshows, PowerPoints, a variety of tools. Canva is a real great image generator. It makes really cool ads and stuff like that. So I use it often just to help me, because I'm not I'm not an artist, and this just makes it easy for me. Oh, okay, great. So now I can look and see what they've come up with. Gives me some ideas. I kind of like the first one. Let's click on it. And here, this is how easy it is. If I wanted to change the name, let me just put this big. I can change the name. You can say we're incorporated. I can change the coloring. You guys get the idea. But I can change out this. It makes it easy. Change the text, the brand, the colors, anything I want here. So that's fun. Okay. In addition to using this, if you're happy with this logo, you could simply just share it and download it. Now I have a usable logo right away. And typically you would want to download it as a PNG. This way it kind of resizes it to what it needs to be depending on where you're using it, which makes it nice. Okay. But we can use coloring and all that kind of stuff. While I'm here, I can simply I'm going to show you a couple other things that you can use Canva for, which is great. We can create something from scratch. What are we going to create? It gives you some ideas. Okay, well, what would we like to do? We can create a nice email. If you wanted to create a series of emails that needed to go out and you wanted a template, they have a whole bunch of templates that pop up right here. So if you notice right here, okay, that's a premium feature. Okay, so you'd have to actually, I think it's like $20 a month, which is worth it if you're going to be pumping out content, because you get access to a lot more templates. But for, let's say, for just an email that you don't really care, you can edit things, and let's just say, okay, this is going to be a great email. I want this one. Boom. Now you have something you can just edit. You click on the boxes, you edit, and then you save it. And then you can change the picture here. They have a bunch of free images. You can add your logo here. It's not real difficult. It seems like it's a lot, but look, you can just drag and drop pictures in here. You can delete things. I don't want that. No. You can do whatever it is that makes it look good. And you also have an unsubscribe here, so it keeps you compliant against any spam. So that's how easy it is. Now, all of a sudden, you have a nice email template that you can use and edit for future, or just have a one-time email go out. And guess where you're going to get the content? You're going to get it from your ChatGPT, right? So here's another real quick trick that I've learned. Okay, I like to screenshot it, and this is another way. If you don't really feel like typing out what you want, like, I need a message for this part, and you can do that with your website, your newsletter, your email, whatever the case may be. But real quick, I'm just going to keep that tab open. I'm going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to add the screenshot. Okay. There it is. So let me open up my logo. I downloaded that. I'm going to add another one. And here's my screenshot. Okay. And I'm going to just tell ChatGPT, can you help me with content for this email template with my logo? Boom. Now it's going to analyze the images. And it tells me, ChatGPT tends to really like you, like whatever you do. Oh, that's a great idea. Where sometimes if you really want an honest, like, give it to me straight, you have to tell it to, because otherwise it'll kind of make it all nice and fluffy that you're doing such a great job. But you definitely, as I mentioned before, you always want to read through everything. So boom. Now I have the text, the body of the email. So I'm just going to take that. I'm going to go back to my Canva template, right up here. Boom. And I'm just going to paste it in over there. I'm going to take a look at it. Obviously, I might want to change out the kid's eyes. Probably wasn't the best template to choose, but you get the idea. It's just really for the layout. And then when you get stuck on something, you could just screenshot it or copy and paste and say, I need text for here. Now, all of a sudden, you're not sitting there staring at a blank screen when your creativity, and when you haven't had enough coffee and you can't think of anything, So that's really, use these tools. They're free, and it really does help. So there's, like I said, mentioned before, all of these links are going to be in the in the chat, and Tracy's going to hand them out. But definitely look around in Canva. You'll find it to be just a great little tool to use. So and like I said, you can also, just to go back, kind of show you some different things that they do. They have the logo. You can just create a Word doc. You can create a flyer, an Instagram post, an Instagram story. So videos, you need a new background photo. You can also use it the opposite way. You can ask ChatGPT or Copilot to create you something, and then you go edit it in Canva, and then have a workable product from there, because you can fine tune what it needs to say from there as well. So you can use these synonymously back and forth. So Just wanted to kind of go through and show you and even reels, mobile videos. You could do, anything you need, your YouTube thumbnail. They have all of them. They have a bunch of templates for free that you can use. So that wraps up Canva. Any questions on Canva?
No.
No? Okay. So there we go. And as you can see, I've obviously done things here. So it keeps your work as well. And you can, if you do get a paid version, you can create a whole brand kit with your coloring and things like that. So you're staying consistent. It remembers your business and what you upload. So you simply just convert things, resize things, and keep things all in kind of one place. So that is Canva. So, and then the last part was, I kind of mentioned about, Copilot. So, the next part would be, getting the ad, creating the ad for Facebook, and then just kind of getting ideas on how to market my new business. So you can go back to your Copilot or your Chat GPT and say, help me create 10 social media posts to target new business for my property and Paul Pet Care. Okay. Make it have, please use a call to action, because what we want them to do, we want them to click on something. We want to get them to do something. So by having a CTA in there, kind of edges them on to click on something. And then I always like 10, I'll do 20, I'll even do 30. You know why? Because I like choices, and then I can pick and choose what does all the brainstorming for me. So I'm gonna say 30 with a call to action. This way I can pick and choose. And we kind of did this last week. So I'm just doing it again because this is a real big portion of what this stuff can be used for. And since I have the controls, it'll make it a little easier. So this is great. Okay. And it literally gave me 30 different prompts. It's still writing. Wildwood area homeowners trust property and Pauls to care, or it should be Pauls and property, to care for their homes and pets while they travel. Now I would simply just scan through these. Okay. All right. But now you have some ideas. So you can save these, you can access them later. You can ask it, take the last 5, take these and make ads, create, So let's just take these 4. I'm just going to copy and paste right from my Chat GPT. I like these messages. Please turn each of these ideas into usable images sized for Facebook or Instagram or whatever the case may be. Now, obviously, some LLMs and AI tools are better for video generating. For videos, InVideo is a really cool platform as well. Oftentimes with these AI tools, they'll give you a certain amount for free. And so it's cool to just kind of check some of these out and see depending on what you need. And if you ever needed a tool and you're not sure, like, oh, I'm sure AI does this, I just don't know what tool, shoot us an email message or a chat or whatever the case may be. At any time you have a question, just call us. We're here to help you guys. Yeah, we have a business and this is what we do, but we're also here to help too, because an informed client that can use these tools understands better how they can use them in the future as the technology grows. So, does anyone have any questions so far while our images are analyzing and creating? No, I didn't post. That was silly. So I do that sometimes too. I didn't post Let me stop that. I didn't post what I was asking it to do. So no wonder it's analyzing. Oh, now we'll do it. Okay. And, sometimes ChatGPT or any of the LLMs as well, they act like they have amnesia. Like, even though you've described it as what you wanted to do, it sometimes just doesn't listen. So sometimes it's easier if that's the case. If you're not getting the output that you want, you can either switch LLMs. You can go to Copilot or, Gemini, or you can just start a new chat thread. And sometimes because it had so much information in the previous chat thread that it can get confused and not really understand what it is that you want. So just a couple of tips. So I mean, these kids, and I don't know if anyone has teenagers or 20s or 30s. They're very familiar with all of this stuff. I mean, it's easy. It's so easy for a 15 and 16 and 17-year-old to start a business online today. It's insane because they have these tools all at their fingertips. Which, I mean, just going back to doing a book report. Remember having to go to the library and doing all. I mean, this is like a thing of the past. So as technology goes, the old infrastructure kind of weans its way out. So we have a new turning of the guard. But as you can see, it's coming up with 4 different ideas, based upon those 4 that I copied and pasted that I liked. So bang, and it looks professional. I didn't have to do much, and I can start marketing this today. So these are what ChatGPTs look like now. We clarified our business, we structured our services, we identified our customer, we researched the market, we organized our strategy, and it's really all within a couple of tools. So it didn't replace me, it just accelerated me. So, and like I said, another cool thing you can do, it can do a business plan. It can do the 3 to 5 page business plan. It can do a 30-page business plan, depending on how in depth you want it to go. But at least it gives you the outline that you can then use to fill in your own information. You can put that sensitive data, if you're trying to go get a loan, put it into a different document, and now you have something that you can now edit and then personalize it. But it gives you the outline. So I'm going to basically open it up. Don, did you have anything else? Any questions? Did you guys get some stuff out of this? Do you feel like we got a little further into the whole process?
I thought it was fantastic. Again, fantastic. Exactly what we asked you to do, and present. And, it was great. Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions? Any questions at all from anybody? I just really want you to be able to start using these tools because they really can save a lot of time and a lot of headaches. And if it can make you money, if it can make you more efficient, that's what it's all about, right? Because time is money, as they say in the.
Well, this was a good presentation for me in that I never realized you could utilize multiple tools and interchange and copy and paste from one to the other, and one tool is better than the other. I thought they were all the same. So you took away that mystery for me, and I've been playing with it a little bit. I never knew Canva because I was just trying to design a postcard for advertising on Word and Microsoft Publisher, and then now I can go here and probably do a better job than me.
Yeah, and it can download the exact size that you need it. I know the resizing is kind of like a premium feature, but for $20 a month, if you're going to be pumping out and doing your own content, it makes it worth it.
Yeah,
even
sure.
LinkedIn, if you're doing LinkedIn posts, Facebook posts, anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have to
okay.
say, and I'll be honest with you guys, I have used ChatGPT this entire time, and it took me, so I knew about a month ahead of time that I was going to be doing this course, right? So I'm like, oh, how am I going to do the course? Am I going to do it in a classroom structure? And I literally went through a ton of AI tools along with ChatGPT to try to figure out what it was and how I was going to present. And really, over the couple of weeks, I finally narrowed it down and was able to get the content together, make it usable content that we can share. I was a little nervous because I didn't want it to be too easy or too hard or too fast, but I think we're exactly where we need to be. And in the next couple of sessions, I'm going to use the same business that we created here today, and we're going to go just a little bit deeper. And then lastly, the last session, which is going to be so much fun, it's going to be about workflows and AI employees. And that's really the next step from the chat GPTs and LLMs. But I want you to get, just comfortable using them and practice and just have a little fun. It's not supposed to be so serious, and it takes a little bit off your plate. Any other questions?
This is Bruno. I just wanted to reach out. I've been on the road while this session's been taking place, but I can tell you that while I probably should have been more focused on the road, my brain has been really wrapped my arms around the categories that you've talked about. Now, when I get back into hotel tonight, I'll probably start playing around and tinkering a little bit once if we have the link tonight for the recording. But if not, it just helped me understand. I wouldn't have understood the next steps in this without what you did today. So very grateful and appreciate it. I think it's very beneficial to all of us.
Good. I'm really glad to hear that. Like I said, we have 2 more meetings left, and we'll keep building on what we've started today and what we've learned. And so next week, I encourage you to bring some questions. If we have anything, let's just throw it up and we'll get through it. So, and for anything else I can't answer, we always have ChatGPT, right?
That is true. Bruno, we'll make sure that you get that recording. You'll have it. Everybody will have it.
And you'll have the resource
very
guide
soon. As soon as we get it uploaded and done, you guys will have it. This whole conversation from today's meeting. And I do want to say, Sudden Impact Agency is a chamber member, and they do offer services, AI services over and above what they're talking to us about. So if you are serious about this, there are things that obviously we can do ourselves, but if you really want to move into the AI world, please reach out to Jen and have a conversation with her. Additionally, if you have any questions and you're planning on joining us next week, if you want to send us those questions in advance, just reply to Lisa's email. And we'll make sure that you get them in advance, Jen, so that you can be prepared and have all those answers. If there's an area you want us to move into or something very specific that you want us to add to these sessions, Jen is very, very open to it. And obviously we want to give the best service to our chamber members and our partners, and make sure we're giving you all that. That's why we're doing all of these education classes. That's why we do our membership luncheons, and so forth. So next Wednesday, we have our Guatita luncheon, where we're going to have our tourism update. Lou, Ben, John all come out. They talk to us about what's happening in Guatita World, which is our tourism authority. For those that don't know what Guatita is, you can still register for that. Call the office. You must register by today. It's a luncheon. It's next Wednesday. It will be at the Bolero. Next Thursday, we have our AI class, and the subject is, applying AI to business tasks. It's going to be another fantastic session. Again, if you have questions that you want touched on, let us know, and we'll get those questions out to Jen. If you have questions about what the next step is in AI, you are welcome to reach out to Jen. If you don't have her contact, that is on the slide, but reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to share that with you and get it out to you. And then after we're done our AI classes, we are moving into our second round of social media classes. So definitely make sure that you're getting the emails from the chamber and you're registering for those classes. Education in 2026 is so, so important. We're seeing things change with our visitors, with our businesses. and so on. So we want to make sure that you guys are up to date. We just learned at a conference with ABC Marketing and Advertising, which is the advertising and marketing company for Quatita, how our visitors' demographics have changed, which means your marketing needs to change. How often the visitors are coming here, they're boomeranging and they're coming back for 2 visits as opposed to one long 7-day visit. So what do we have to do to get them back here for a second visit? All of that has changed in the last couple years, and it changes. It's a cycle that continues to change. So you need to know that information. Make sure you continue to attend these education classes. Jen, you guys, once again, fantastic. Everything we asked for, everything we talked about. And I'm looking forward to next week. So we will get you whatever questions we get. We'll get them out to you. I think my team actually has a few questions because we're kind of excited. We were doing this. I was paying attention, but they were doing it along with you. They can multitask. Clearly I cannot. As I said, it's always a pleasure to have you guys, and we'll let you finish it up. Anything else you got to say?
No, I'm great. I thank you for mentioning that. But yeah, I would love to see if there's any other tools or any other areas specifically that you'd want to have for your business. I'm open to any ideas. So yeah, we're trudging along here. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity to not only just educate you a little bit, just to not make it seem so scary. No, we're all in this together.
It's a little scary, but we got it. We're strong here. Wildwood strong. All right. I thank everybody. Everybody have a fantastic day, fantastic week. Hope to see you Wednesday. Definitely want to see you next Thursday. And we're always here. If you need anything, just give us a call at the chamber.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have
Thank
a great
you so much, gang. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.